Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. I am your host, Mike, and today I have two of my friends with me, two of my best whiskey mates, Keith from the Malted Man Cave, and Dustin, D2 Silv from Whiskey YouTube Lore, one of the heaviest commenters of all time. And Dustin today was kind enough to bring us this Springbank 25 2016 limited edition. Dustin, tell us all about it.
All right, guys. So right now we're dealing with a bourbon and sherry blended Scotch. They then finish it in a port pipe. So we're gonna get port, we're gonna get sherry, we're gonna get bourbon. They made 900 bottles of this one, so we're talking about one of the probably most limited edition bottles I've seen from Springbank. Usually you're looking at maybe 9,000 for most of their normal releases, and you're looking at maybe 3,000, 4,000 to 21s.
I am still not the best pourer, especially when it's not my bottle of whiskey.
It's funny, his bottle's a quarter ounce every time.
He keeps pouring me like a really healthy one, so I'm cool with it.
As I go further down the list,
this bottle.
If you watch the Springbank 21 review, I got a really healthy pour. But I'm gonna pay Mike back for it.
Just so you guys can
slip him like a 20 later.
This bottle's been open since April or May, so I've been drinking off this quite a bit. Ooh. The difference is, I pour this very small. This is my starter for the night.
This is more grapey too.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. This is the best smelling whiskey I have ever experienced, and I don't think there's a number two.
Well, let's tell them why. First of all, let's get on those. Natural color, so you can pick that up. Lovely, I would say, rich gold.
Yeah, so slightly on the lighter side, I think, with the 25-year-old. So
a little bit.
And surprised, given there's port finishing at the end there, I'm a little surprised, but.
Grapey vanilla.
Oh, it's grapes. It is beautiful,
grapey vanilla,
rich. I mean, you can tell that port influence is driving that, but then it's got that red fruit from the sherry after the grape, which is kind of just extending it. It's giving more berries.
Isn't it amazing how much more peppery the 21 was than this?
There's almost no pepper on the nose.
Just the 4 years it made it kind of disappear.
I think it's the casks, though. I think it's that secondary maturation they did here that they didn't do on the 21 year. The 25, because again, they aged it, then they poured it into a secondary barrel, and they aged it, a couple more years.
Well, 46% ABV, so still a good ABV, not quite cask strength. And I gotta tell you, the first time I tried this, and then you gave me a sample of it, man, you guys are huge fans of Springbank. I enjoy Springbanks, but this one here has definitely been my most impressive Springbank I've ever tried. To me, on the nose, man, it's like walking through like a garden. Like I'm getting like 4 different kinds of roses: red rose, white rose.
There's floral.
We're getting vanilla now, big time coming out now that it's been open for just even the 30 seconds. And I will tell anybody who is a Springbank fan, I was talking to you guys about this earlier. With some bottles, I think it needs to be, you need to get, below the neck, you gotta wait for it. Springbank, I don't know that it matters as much there. Where Springbank really matters is that you need to spend some time with it in the glass.
Yep.
It just keeps developing. I don't care where the bottle is. It just keeps developing in the glass. I mean, in 2 hours, we come back to this, it's gonna smell different. We're gonna get something different. It's just incredible.
I think the first time we had this, we filled up the glass. We were drinking a few whiskeys, and we filled up the glass. We came back to it like that in the King of Kentucky. We came back to like 40 minutes ago, and it was still just jumping around as far as the nose.
Didn't we did a rundown review of this, right?
Oh yeah, we did a sample of this and like a 19 fresh sherry.
9 local bar.
I gave those 3 samples to Mike, and you 2 reviewed that. Yeah.
But it's nice to focus just solely on this one all by itself.
Yeah. So. Do you guys remember? You guys ever have like just the regular sugar crystal rock candies? Like on a stick.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's on the nose.
For some reason, I get that.
Yeah, but it's like there's a buttery note after it too.
Yeah, almost like it reminds me of the local bar.
I almost want to go into like butterscotch, but it's not butterscotch. It's
buttery, like sugary.
It's like you took butter and you took like some brown sugar, not a lot, and then just like some sugar,
or even just regular sugar. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just kind of ground it up.
It's like the runoff when you have pancakes. And you just have like butter and syrup on it.
Yeah.
And like you ate all the pancakes, but then there's still like butter and syrup like left on your tray. It's like the runoff, butter.
Oh, that buttery note is
syrup.
Yeah.
That buttery note is awesome.
Unlike being like a maple syrup, it's a grape syrup. I can't explain.
That grapey vanilla is still there.
It is a grape
and
syrup.
just a twinge of salt. Now it's not nearly as salty as the 21, but it's just a little bit of salt right there at the end.
Amazing way. That salty sweet.
I think that's part of what gives it that butter. And then now that I'm smelling more, I'm starting to get a little bit of oak gas way back in the distance. Just a little bit of oak.
You're right. A little bit of toasted oak.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
A little bit just right there. It's like the last smell when you inhale. It's just like that linger.
Yeah,
It's the tail of the
And
nose.
it's a gentle toast. And that's why the color is what it is here. It's a toasted oak more so than like a darker.
Now this extra age for the 25 years, I've noticed for me it's toned down that underbaked sugar dough cookie note that I normally get.
I don't get that at all here.
Yeah, there's no really.
To me, it's there a little bit in the background, but it's almost undetectable.
I think with maybe the toasted barrel.
On the
is
I
same
guess
thing
I already
you're
took
getting.
another sip. I always take a sip because I feel like I enjoy the nose better, and it's there a slight bit, but it's almost undetectable compared to all the other Springbanks.
If you were to give me this blind, I would not say Springbank.
I think I might know, but I see where you're going with it. It does not. It doesn't have as much of all the the pronounced.
I might almost think Old Pulteney.
Yes. With that twinge of salt, like Old Pulteney 21.
I would be thinking of an older Old Pulteney.
Old Pulteney
potentially,
35 or 25.
I would be,
those.
and
Old Pulteney 21, but less sherried. Almost.
and older. To me, this drink's older than 25 years. Because
Have you had Old Pulteneys?
I've not had older.
Because
Old
I've only
Pulteney,
had
but
the Old Pulteney 21.
I haven't gone older
The
than that.
17 and 12,
Yeah.
obviously.
But I'm saying like I get the salt character that I get in Old Pulteney a little bit. I get some of that wine finish, but I'm getting this tastes old.
Yeah. Just a little bit. That's good.
I'm gonna go sans the water right now. I might go back to it because I'm trying. Because there's a note here on the wood that I'm not sure what's gonna happen if you add water to it. I want to decipher it first.
This is a lot better than I remember it last
Oh,
time.
yeah. Well, because we can take our time with this one, not line up 3 different ones.
Yeah. And did you guys last time? Did you have the 19-year fresh sherry before this?
Yeah, I think
we did the local barley first, then the 25, then the 19.
Okay.
That's a sherry bomb.
Yes, it is. Well, the local barley, even that's a more intense, like punch to your tongue than like the 21 years that we had.
that's what I like to. I like to do reviews, but I really like to focus on one whiskey at a time,
Yeah.
especially when it's this good.
It's crazy how much that pepper note is just gone compared to the 21.
Well, again, I think it's
Not
the cask.
there.
It's just
It never was.
It's a completely different cask.
Even before
But still,
I think
to
that
me, I
pepper
guess I was
came
thinking
from
more
the
that the
casks.
pepper note came more from just the peated.
Yeah.
Like
But
the
do you
50
get pepper in like the 12 year?
I get. Not, it said there are different Springbank expressions that I do get that pepper
Or the
note,
15?
but it's not as strong.
Yeah. I mean, I think
I get it on the 10. I get it on. I'm
that's
trying to
more
think.
bourbon than sherry. For
The
sure.
Springbank 12 green. Not
Which
as
is
much
all
on
bourbon. That's
the
pure
not as
bourbon.
much on the Springbank 13 green.
But you know what?
It's all sherry.
I think the Springbank 21, the
Why would the
2000.
pepper notes come so much from the oak?
Because
really?
I think sherry covers up those pepper notes. The sherry kind of plays with them. It adds that sweetness and it
And this
lightens
is
it out.
bourbon and port.
It's bourbon and sherry, and then they finish it in a port. So they marry those together and put it in.
There can't be that much sherry though.
I don't know a lot of port either, but
Yeah, no. It looks like a lot of bourbon.
But yeah, I mean the color looks very much port though. Like it's starting to get some of that like
Reddish.
red.
hue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hue.
yeah. The Balvenie 21 look.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a ton of first fill, in
Anything.
your face.
Yeah.
It could be first fill bourbon, but I don't think so because I'm
I
getting.
definitely think it's first fill bourbon.
Because I'm getting an oak note in here that makes me think that those casks have been used a little bit, and I think that's why they used the port at the end was to try to liven it back up.
Yeah, this is really good. Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, again, the flower notes are all over with water. I mean, I'm getting daisies. I'm almost getting like a light lilac.
It just keeps getting more and more candied.
I'm actually getting some more spices here now.
Yeah. The grape has
So
kind of
I'm
gone
gonna
away a
do a
little
little
bit with the
water.
water. The grape kind of went away a little bit.
Yeah, all of really the sharper notes with water disappeared with a few drops.
It's just all vanilla,
I was gonna say
rock candy, sugar.
I didn't
crystal
put
candy.
the water in like you guys did. I started getting a little more of that pepper there as it had opened.
Yeah?
up. It just it's a wood spice. It's not
Yeah.
pepper. It's wood spice. I love the nose on this.
Yeah, I mean, I can sit here and just nose this all day long. It smells so fantastic.
Like,
Like this is literally a whiskey that I want to have as my first whiskey of the night.
I'm going to tell you right now, yeah, and I think, honestly, this is a first whiskey of the night. It's one that I pour almost like, just the smallest amount
Oh, not me.
just to get started, and then I switch, it being an $800 retail bottle, I did get it for $625. I got it on sale.
We're gonna drink it all tonight too.
Yeah. Hammering it down. Shots
You
later.
have no choice, Dustin.
Shots later.
All right, there's 2 of them.
All right, guys. What do you think as far as the whiskey score on this one?
I went first last time, so
Yeah, we'll do it. Justin, you go first, and we'll go in order.
Oh man. So my first thought was 92. but because of the nose, I'm going 93. It is just the best nose I've ever had on whiskey, and so I got to push it up there.
Yeah, it's definitely. I was thinking the same thing. 92. The nose is absolutely incredible.
The nose is 95.
Oh, yeah, the nose is
Maybe
is
96.
is so
I mean,
far up there. It's one of the best. Again, one of
It's
the best.
amazing
smelling
how
noses
much
ever.
better it gets the longer it's in the glass.
This is really one. If any of you have one of these 900 bottles, man, sit there the first time and let it sit out there for a half hour, 40 minutes before you ever take a sip. You really need to let it unwind and uncoil. I'm at 92 out of 100.
So I'm at 92 out of 100 as well. If this was cask strength, this would be a 95 out of 100. That's how good it is.
It could be higher. I
Maybe a 96
You know,
if it was cask
you know, I
strength.
said with the 21, I felt like that drank higher than 46. But this drink's less than 46.
Yeah.
So this drink's more like 43.
But it's, you know, sometimes I love that, like, just so much flavor in your freaking face. But it is nice to kind of have this, like, subtle, complex, just so much stuff going on in the background. But if it was cask strength, you get all that subtle complexity.
Yeah.
But then also that amp. So this would probably be a 95, 96 at cask strength.
This could be pushing into like best whiskey ever at cast, or not even doesn't even cast. They just went to 50 or 49, whatever the cat, somewhere in there.
I mean, not necessarily though.
Because it's not viscous.
Well, yeah, it is. You're right. It's missing a little something as far as an umph. But it almost reminds me a lot of Japanese whiskeys that are really nicely done, like a Yamazaki 18, where they're all just pieces of the whole, and no piece is like half of it or 40% of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a 93. It just keeps getting better in the glass.
We'll sit here for a while and we'll just keep going up.
Well, and kind of what I was saying though is, for me, taste is of course the most important part of a whiskey.
Sure.
Normally, my number 2 though is the texture. Here, the nose is so good it trumps that. The texture on this is kind of a B plus, B, maybe even just a regular solid B.
That's why if it was cask strength.
And that's that's why it just.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't. I don't need like more punch. I just want creamier mouthfeel. It's just that texture. This was a little light on the texture. That's my only complaint with this whiskey.
I'll take more of everything. I'll take more ABV, more texture, more oomph, all
That
of it.
buttery pancake note with like syrup.
You like the pancake, right?
I'm getting more pancake now that we're talking about it. Yeah.
You guys like that? To me, that's what I mean, anytime you get a nice stack of pancakes and just run and you're hungry
And you
you're
put the
hungover,
butter over it. Oh yeah.
it's the right thing there. Anyway, those are our thoughts on this Springbank 25-year-old, the 2016 limited edition, one of only 900 bottles. So I don't know how many of you are out there watching the YouTube channel that actually has this thing, but if you do, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. And until next time, we want to thank you for joining. For Keith, Dustin, we both wish you, all wish you, happy drinking.
Happy drinking.
Cheers.